what's best? If they're on the sides for you guys,
Yeah.
or right in front of them.
I think you probably want it in front so the camera catches it.
Okay, I
That's
didn't
my
know
hunch.
with your guys' angles,
Yeah.
if it would block your faces a little bit.
Thank you.
Decatur to you all. Alright. We have Makira Cook, Kendall Bostic, and go ahead with questions.
Kendall, the obvious first question is the change of tone between this year and last year.
Yeah, it's definitely a good change, I think. There's a lot of, our whole philosophy has changed, and I think it's going to be for the better. We focus a lot on defense here, and I think last year we had a lot of different defenses that we would play, but there's some practices we spend 70% of the practice doing defensive drills, and I think the kind of the philosophy change that we're going to have this year, people are going to see, is that we're a lot faster. We focus on defense a lot more, and we rebound really well. Her kind of philosophy is defend, rebound, and run, which I like a lot because I like to run the floor. I like to rebound. So I think it's going to be a really good change.
You like to rebound?
I do.
Kendall, obviously, you had great rebounding numbers last year. What have you done for this year to kind of expand on that, maybe become more of an offensive threat?
Yeah. I've worked a lot in the weight room, a lot lower body stuff, just getting stronger, getting more balanced. But I've also really worked on developing my offensive game as an undersized post player in the Big Ten. Coach Ryan, who's our position coach, has been great to work with us kind of on footwork, a lot of technical things that a lot of us bigs didn't do last year. So it's been really beneficial for me to kind of grow my offensive game while maintaining my rebounding.
Makira, you played under Coach Green, so you have a little bit, even though you're new to the program, you kind of have maybe a little insight into what. Have you taken more of a leadership role because of that background?
Compared to my last 2 years at Dayton, I've taken on, I feel like, a huge leadership role. But I'm not the only one who is doing all of the heavy lifting. And yeah, with like just having a lot of insight and stuff, it's just nice that the people who are really eager to learn and stuff come to me and like pick my mind about things.
I know a lot of people talk about Shauna Green's energy and stuff in practice. When you're there, what does that look like for you guys?
Yeah, so our energy in practice is really good. We really have to focus on we really talk about like starting out that first drill is going to set the tone for practice. So we always try and come out with that mindset of we have to get better today. We have to pick something to get better. And I always tell people in the huddle, I'm like, just pick something that you want to work on today and focus on that and get better at it. But our energy has been really good. We're much faster, as I mentioned earlier. So like our scrimmages are a lot better, and we even practice against the practice players a lot. And we're actually kind of holding our own against them, because last year it was kind of a tough situation, but this year we're actually like kind of holding our own against the guys who are very good. So a couple of them played Division I basketball at other places, so it's been really cool to see kind of the energy shift, and people are excited and people are happy to be at practice, and it's, I think, a really, really good change.
I know you were at Dayton with Shauna. What made her coach want to move to Illinois, kind of come with and play with for another year?
I wanted to go with Coach Green because I really trust her. I feel like trusting who you're playing for is like one of the main factors. The girls, of course, but I knew this was going to be a brand new team essentially. So mainly the trust factor and like the genuine love feel that I get from them.
Kendall, Shauna's talked about how just the buy-in from the 5 returning players is pretty quick. But were there any challenges to that? I mean, it's a big change to go from one staff to another.
Yeah, it is a big change, but as soon as I saw it was Coach Green, I instantly kind of just was like relieved, because I was recruited by her in high school, so I kind of knew her philosophy, what she liked, what she expected of her players. But I think overall it was like a good change, and it was easy to adjust to. I don't really think there were any hiccups. I think the one thing I would say is they're a very detail-oriented staff, and so there are a lot of little things, and they were okay with us like slowing down and taking the time to actually get the footwork before we were thrown in to do it, kind of different from last year. So I think everything has been good challenges. There's not really been anything where it's been kind of like, oh, this is not good, but everything overall has been a really, really good challenge.
Question for you. How excited are you to kind of turn the page and start a fresh new season?
I'm really excited. Being here last year, it was not the season we wanted, so I am really excited to kind of see a new energy from the players, a new energy from the coaches. I think, obviously there's a lot of things that we have to grow on as a team, but overall, like, I'm very excited to see where the season goes.
When you guys look at your season, obviously you're coming off a season where it was a struggle. And you're coming off a season where you guys were very successful. Now you're in the same place. How do you set the goals? Like, do you guys get together and say, here's what we're going to do, or do you each have different expectations?
So to answer the first part of your question, as a team, we set our goals. We have family meetings, and Coach Green leads them. And it's made very clear that, like, you have to have goals when you're going into anything in your life. So we make goals for ourselves and as a team, and we honestly talk about them. Like, we have a platform where we're allowed to freely speak, and Coach Green lets us say what we want to say, how we feel about things. So we set those boundaries and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think like we set a lot of really good goals in practice. Like me coming from last year where it wasn't as successful as their season, I think from her, like, she knows what we need to do to get there, and I can kind of see like where we don't need to go and what we need to do to improve from last year. So if I see us kind of slipping into something that we did last year that was a habit last year, I'm going to nip it in the butt really quick to where she can be like, okay, this is what we need to do to get to this championship level.
Maybe knowing the staff and what they expect, how do you feel maybe you helped the 5 players that return maybe have such a smooth transition to a new kind of reality?
Well, I feel like just the whole transition can be stressful. I mean, we're all college students, we're young women, so like maybe just me being here and being a junior, mature on the court and things like that, it just maybe eases a little bit of their anxiety of you can always come to me for whatever, like there's no need to worry, like I know how Coach Green is, and just like basically being there for whatever they need.
Kendall, do you remember a moment maybe early in the spring where you just felt like it was going to maybe be smooth, it was going to work?
Yeah, I would say it was like one of our first workouts, and it was in the spring, so it was just the 5 returners, and we had, I think it was our second practice with Coach Green, and they were only, at that time, we had 4 hours a week, and it was only like an hour workout, and for the last half hour of the workout, we did defensive one-on-one, and I was like, this mentality is a lot different, and it's going to be a lot better, and she was like super encouraging, because like the returners from last year weren't used to the defensive philosophy that she had. We were kind of used to just whatever that it was that game, that's what we played. So it was kind of, and she was just super encouraging. She was like, everyone's going to have a bad day. Everyone's going to have a bad defensive day. Everyone's going to have a bad offensive day. And today might be your day, and that's okay. Like, we're going to work and get better at it. So just from kind of like that statement right there, just that whole like first initial practice, I was like, we're in good hands.
Kendall, you've done very well at rebounding the basketball throughout your career, but what have you worked on this offseason to improve your scoring ability down low?
Yeah, I've worked on my outside shot quite a bit. Coach Green and Coach Ryan really kind of helped me tweak my outside form a little bit, just some minor things, and it's had a huge impact on my shot. I'm in the gym a lot more this summer and in the preseason than I was last year, and working on the outside shot, and Coach Ryan has been really good to help me with some more of my inside game a little bit, since I am undersized. So being able to work around some of those bigger players, those taller players that are going to be guarding me.
Makira, I know you kind of have a different opportunity here than kind of being a part of like building a team rather than Dayton, I guess, where you guys were kind of at a different level. I guess what kind of opportunity do you see kind of with this team and maybe a big role for Illinois?
I see just the opportunity of being more of a leader and contributing more like off the court, instead of like the last 2 years I did my job on the court and things like that, but I had people to show me the way, pave the way. So now I'm more of like the way paver and things like that.
How do you then change? Like, what do you do? Like, what are you kind of like starting to learn? What are you kind of trying to do? I guess differently than if that makes sense when you're in that role.
Honestly, I'm trying to learn how to just become better at playing both the 1 and the 2, and switching roles like very fast, like throughout the game, throughout practice, and like switching mindsets of the different positions.
Yes. Kendall, we had all of the coaching staff on our radio show a couple weeks ago. talked about just how maybe close they were, and they felt like maybe that was showing to recruits, maybe to the players. What's that vibe like from the staff?
It's a really good vibe. You can tell they're all very close on and off the court, and you can tell that they work kind of together as a unit. It's not Coach Green running practice and everyone else has to do what she says. Like, a lot of the coaches give their opinion, their input, they're all on the same page. So it's kind of comforting for us. Like at practice, we're like, okay, I can go to any of the coaches and ask any question and I'll get the same answer from all of them. And so it's just kind of nice to see, like, kind of, you know, and Coach Cat played professionally, so you have him who's gotten to that next level, and so he's able to help with some things, and Coach Ryan, our position coach. So it's a nice family feeling, I guess, and it really, I think, has shown to recruits because it's shown to us, and we can relay that to recruits.
You had experience that for a couple of years. Just when did you maybe know like that staff was maybe a little different, they're connected so well?
So, in all honesty, I think when I was being recruited, I had 4 official visits set up, and Dayton was it might have been my first official visit, and I committed right then and there because, like, after I hung out with them, I went to Coach Green's house, I saw everything, and, like, I had a feeling, something in me was just telling me, like, this is where you need to be, this is who you need to be with, and they haven't proved anything differently.
I was at your practice the other day, so I want to get your take on this. Who's the bad cop among the coaching staff? Which coach is the one that you're going to want to get on the wrong side of?
I'd say Coach Green, probably. I mean, I don't think there really is like a bad cop, but if we need to, like, if someone needs to get on us, it's going to be Coach Green.
I would say the person who probably gets on maybe the guards the most would be like Coach Mack. She won't sit back and let something keep tumbling over and getting bad. But then of course Coach Green will get on us if need be.
I saw that one.
Kendall, Shauna said today just that he's very much in the past for this program, and maybe it doesn't matter. But I mean, just you experienced it.
Yep.
How do you handle things out?
Yeah, I think it's kind of good to put the past in the past. I think there for a while everyone was just kind of stuck on the past of Illinois and how we have not been very successful. But I think it's like a new slate, wiped clean. Like, we have only 5 returners from last year. You have 8 new players, a whole new staff, and I think it's just kind of a good time for everyone just to kind of like take a deep breath and just be like, okay, this is where we're starting. We're starting fresh and clean. Because at some point last year, I feel like we were starting with like already a foundation, and we were just trying to throw blocks on there. But now I feel like we can wipe everything clean, and we can just start fresh from Coach Green's philosophy and what she wants.
I mean, everyone had to start at the same point, start new. Just how does that maybe come together over the summer and into the fall?
Yeah, I think it's kind of comforting to know that everyone is starting new. Like, new coaching staff for me, new school for her. All the freshmen are completely new to everything, and so everyone's kind of learning something, and everyone can kind of help each other out with different aspects. You know, I ask her questions about Coach Green. She asks me questions about Illinois. The freshmen are asking us questions about everything, and so we've been able to kind of vibe and feed off of each other's newness and just comfort level with different things. So I think it's been really, really good.
How about you?
I also think it's kind of comforting that everybody's starting like from scratch. The coaches, they just all moved to a different state. I moved. Kendall has a new roommate. You know, like, everything is just like completely different, and it's nice because at first everybody was just like in chaos, but now, like, we're settling in, we're getting comfortable, we're learning each other, and it's just nice to, like, I guess, come from the bottom up with a team.
Everybody good?
Thanks, guys.